Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome to if you're new. This is what we're going to be making today. It's beautiful half floral butterfly. If you want to see how it's made, please stick around and watch the video, and then hopefully you'll give it a go yourself. So I'm using the shadow box frame here from Hobbycraft, which is 18 centimetres by 18 centimetres, that's the outer edge. I'm using this shedless glitter cardstock from Crafter's Companion, which I'll be cut into the size of the aperture of the frame there, which you can see just inside the frame, which is around about 15, it says 15 by 15, but it's just short of 15 by 15 centimetres. So I'm getting a better measurement there with my ruler. Getting out my nice large cutter here, and I like to just trim off a very little slither when I use cardstock for the first time, just so that I know it's got a nice neat edge, although you won't see the edges, but I do like to try and get a nice clean edge on it. Yeah, so like I say, 15 by 15, just double checking there that it fits. Need to take a slither off. And then this is plain white cardstock, which will go behind the glitter paper card, which will cover, so the very back of the frame is actually brown, so just in case you will see any of it, which you actually don't, but it just gives it a nicer finish, and it gives me something to put the glitter onto as well, because the glitter will be stuck to the white card. So that's just to cover that brown bit there that you can see, and then that silver glitter will fit inside of the aperture like you see there. And I just want to make sure that the glitter isn't going to slip or anything, so I hold it onto the white cardstock there with double-sided 3D foam, and then on top of the foam, just give me a little bit of wiggle room in case I need it. I've put some tacky glue, and then I'm just making sure it's nice and burnished down, and then I check the frame, the aperture part of the frame. And then I've cut the butterfly from this creator card from Crafter's Companion. I don't think they sell it anymore. I can't remember the name of it either, I'm afraid, because this is actually kept in a folder, so I haven't got the packaging. And then to make the flowers, this top flower you're seeing there, I'm using this die set, which is from Crafter's Companion, and it's called Pine Cone. But you can use any flower die, and then that's the one there that I'm using. And then to make the other two flowers that I use, so it's this one here and a very small one, which I'm just grabbing. I've done two different colours of that very small one there. And then that cuts from this wisteria, which again is from Crafter's Companion, and it's that left one there, and then these three little ones, which actually cut out together in one die, which is quite handy, and then that one there. But again, you can use any flowers that you've got, as long as they're not too big. And then I've used three colours to cut the flowers out, so I've got three tones of colour from this pink and fuchsia Hunky Dory duo tone paper pad, and then I've used one of the darker pinks, one lighter than, I think that's 2 shades lighter, and then this one's the lightest in the pad, which doesn't look very pink, but it is actually pink, it's not white. You can probably see a bit better there, the colour of it. And then on the back of the flowers, before I put them together, I just give them a little bit of a shaping. So I get the ball tool, and then on each petal I will pull the petal in with the ball tool and go backwards and forwards to the middle, just to give it a little bit of a shape. And that's on the back of the flower. But then when I turn the flower over, I push down in the middle, and it just gives it some shape. And then I've made the bigger flowers by adding 2 die cuts together, and I offset them, so that, because when you put one, you'll see there's like gaps in the petals, and then the top layer that I've put on, I've added the top like petal, and I've moved it so that it fills the gaps, just so it's offset. And then these smaller ones here again are the same as the darker ones, but these I just use to fill in some gaps. The darker ones, as you can see at the top there, I actually put those into the larger flowers. And again, I'm just shaping them in the same way, pulling in from the petals. And again, when I do the big flowers the same as well, and then again I turn them over, and you can see there it just makes a bit of a difference. And then I turn them over when I glue them together, and I'll just press down in the middles of them. And then I'm adding this darker one of the 2 very small ones, 2 layers again, with some tacky glue, because I find the other glue quite runny, so I don't want it squidging everywhere, for one. And secondly, the tacky glue is good because this centerpiece is actually on a sheeny card, and tacky glue is better used on like a coated type cardstock. And then I'm just putting it in there with my reverse tweezers, and then I'll give it a push down in the middle and hold it for a couple of seconds, just to make sure it adheres well with the ball tool. And then it's on foam, so you've got the foam underneath, which again helps you to shape it a bit more. And then I'm just fluffing up the petals on the bigger part of the flower, just while I hold that down for a second or 2. And then the butterfly here is cut out from this. It's a sheen cardstock, which I believe is Kanban brand. I'm saying I'm not sure, because I actually bought a job lot from somebody that was selling a load of it around my way in beautiful colours. So I'm not 100% sure what brand it is. And then I'm just giving them, like I said, in the middle at the front, just giving them a quick shaping. And then they'll be glued onto one side of the butterfly. Now obviously the butterfly does have a lot of holes in the body, so you want to try and make sure that a part of the bottom of the butterfly is gluing to, there's a part of the bottom of the flower which is gluing to the top one side of the butterfly, and obviously be careful that you don't stick it to your surface. Just keep giving it a wipe afterwards underneath, just to make sure there's not too much glue gone through. The flowers will be more attached later as we go through, because I'll be hot gluing them to the actual cardstock in the frame. So this just gives them a little bit of a hold to start with, and then later on they'll get a proper adhere to the butterfly with the hot glue gun. And again, just before I'm adding them, I'm just giving them a quick shaping. Sorry, that's gone a little bit off the camera there. And then using the tacky glue. Again, the other one I'm finding is too runny, so you don't want anything that's too sort of runny to do this. whereas tacky glue, although it's a runny glue, it's still got a bit of, you know, gloop to it. So yeah, I'm just making sure there's not too much glue on the bottom of the surface there. And then I just work out where I want all of the flowers. I don't want them overhanging the edge of the butterfly, you know, overhanging the edge of the butterfly, because you lose the shape of the wing. So you do want to, you know, if you can, make sure it's either within the edge of the butterfly, so that you don't lose the wing shape, otherwise it looks a bit of a mess. I did have a little bit of a play with where, you know, the placement of the flowers before I'd done the video, just a quick, and I found that sometimes I did have to leave, you know, a little bit of a gap here and there, which is why I've done those very small flowers. But you can still see the shape of the wing, which is what I wanted. And then on here, I'm just working out where I want it to go on the frame, before I glue it down onto the glitter paper on the background there. And then off to the side there, I've got my hot glue gun just heating up whilst I have a play around with the placement, because I do want to put wording in, which I cut with my Cricut machine. Obviously you can put all sorts of wording in it. You could do it for, you know, people who've lost somebody. I've done this one as an uplifting one, with the wording, be your own kind of beautiful. And then here I'm adding the tacky glue yet again. I'm adding it on parts of the underneath of the butterfly where, if I was to add the hot glue, it would squidge through the holes and you would see it through from the front. So on those parts, I'm adding this tacky glue, sorry, where you can't add the hot glue because it will ooze through or be seen. The main part that I want to add the hot glue to is the base of the flowers, so that they're stuck down well through the cardstock. And again, it helps obviously to stick that side of the butterfly down. The actual wing side of the butterfly, I'm leaving that 3D, so I've done it so that it sticks up slightly. And then obviously you'll see here the hot glue I'm sticking only behind where the flowers are, making sure that they've got glue on them as well, just to make sure they don't move, although they are quite well stuck with just using some tacky glue. Obviously they've only got a tiny little part stuck down because the butterfly is full of holes, so I'm just making sure. And obviously it helps to stick that side of the butterfly down well as well. And then just make sure you give it a good press down. I've done the tacky glue first so that it's had time to go tacky, so it pretty much takes instantly, so I haven't got to sit and hold it for ages, because obviously you've only got so long to work with hot glue before, you know, it hardens. And I wanted to make sure, as I'm doing here, you know, I push the flower centres down well, so they're stuck down well with the glue there. And you can still, you know, you can still see the shape of the wing there. And then there's the wording, be your own kind of beautiful, stuck down with vinyl, cut on the Cricut machine. And that's a wrap for today. Hope you liked it. Hope you're going to try and make it. In the centre of the, before I forget, in the centre of the flowers, I did add some clear gemstones because I just thought they needed a little bit of bling. Hope you give it a go. Please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.